What's going on? So I got asked, was Brad Pitt average actor, great actor, or was it just his image? Good question. Good question. Because I've been watching this cat for 40 years. And I remember when it started on Dallas, back when that's when Dallas passed the shark and when it was corny. Not the heyday of Dallas, not the peak and the prime. Because remember, he came after Christopher Atkins, and you remember the Blue Lagoon. Because you know how Hollywood clones a lot of people, and they could have almost passed for cousins, if not half brothers. Or just saying, look at the hair, the image. So and then he ended up doing. I liked him a lot in Thelma and Louise before Fight Club and Seven and stuff like that. Um, he was considered, that the pinup boy. That's what they was pushing him as, or as a broke double junior whopper, Robert Redford. That was what it was. The blind, blue-eyed cat. So the elephant in the room. So he went through a lot of years. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, of course, with him and his ex-wife Angelique Jolie, and that whole craziness in movies. But did he ever establish himself as a great actor? Or was he just cool as posing? Was he just a really cool poser? You know, kind of like how some people look at Lenny Kravitz as a musician, as an artist. They think the posing because the role is there. How good is the totality? I like some of Lenny, but then I can also be indifferent to some of it. It all depends on what I'm listening to. But that's another story, another video, and we might discuss that. But let's get into this about Brad Pitt. Do you think he's an average actor? Well, he plays an even keel of roles. He's got a smart vibe. And he'd be considered like a broke double junior whopper version of Tom Cruise. But Tom Cruise actually can carry films. That's the difference. Brad Pitt is more like a strong sidekick. He's had a lot of sidekick roles. Can't really say that a lot of things that he's done where I'm like blown away. So, but he definitely plays a certain type. Now it's blurry in terms of the aesthetic because the average aspect is that he can hang. The good aesthetic is that he can be a sidekick co-star. And then the great, did he have anything memorable? Well, I don't consider him a great actor. And then when we get to the good part, also Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with him and Leonardo DiCaprio, who are kind of similar, but Leonardo DiCaprio, because he hit so hard with Titanic and hit with Departed and some other things, even though sometimes with him, I'm gonna do a video about him. His is blurry in terms of where he, in totality, because he's been working with Martin Scorsese, which if you're trying to get credibility and move up that acting food chain, that doesn't hurt. But Brad Pitt, and was it just because of the image, which has kind of been like a fallback for him? Um, I'd say that somewhere between average and the image is where I would find him. Well, he's had some good roles. I'll give him that. I wouldn't say anything great, but I think he's done enough where he's been able to kind of hang in there. But he never took the baton from Tom Cruise. Just because you've been around doing movies and stuff for 35, 40 years does not mean that you've been cash money at the box office or that you have the chops, because no one puts him in the same category with any of the premier actors or what have you. But as a cat that's a sidekick who's kind of hung around, did enough to kind of make it work, give him his due far as that. But anyway, it's an interesting debate, and so I'm getting asked these questions about different actors, and because this is how you break it down, and we can debate. I welcome it. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.